Alright, welcome back to the channel. Basically today I'm going to be buttoning up the install of the engine back in this car. I've still got quite a few parts left out over here on my makeshift workbench here. And first things first, I need to get in here and get the car lifted up on these jack stands that I made years ago. And yeah, I'll get that thing lifted up and I can start getting the bell housing bolts put in and the motor mount bolts and a few other things underneath of it. But yeah, I'd just like to thank all of my new subscribers for subscribing, and everybody else for watching my videos. And if you want to see more content on my old W126 300 SD here, please subscribe to my channel and give my videos a like. But on that note, I'll basically get in here, we'll get this thing lifted up, and I'll start getting to work on it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, now that I've got it jacked up, and after I spent way too long trying to find the rest of the bolts for the car, I could start getting the bell housing bolts and torque converter bolts and the motor mount bolts put in underneath. And basically from then it's pretty much all stuff on top except for the exhaust over here. I'm going to have to get in and put the exhaust back in from underneath, but this exhaust here has definitely seen better days. I mean, that flex joint right there is pretty well completely blown out. But yeah, this a lot of this stuff I've got sit over here on top of my little makeshift workbench. A lot of this stuff will go back in fairly quickly, so hopefully it won't take too long to get all of this put back together. So I'll basically kind of get started on doing all of that. Alright, well, I had to go in and get a few things like these bolts here. These are basically the power steering pump bolts, and I only needed one just because this one here, as you can see, some of the threads got a little messed up on it, and I just didn't want to reuse it, so I went ahead and went down to my local Fastenal and got these 8.8 zinc plated bolts to put back in. And I also had well, I guess I don't have it here, but one of my water pump bolts, I rounded it off whenever I first went to replace the radiator and everything in here. So I went up and I got a couple more bolts, just to put in there. And I'm not for sure, but I might have to take and kind of ground down the edge of that a little bit to get it to, work with the fan and, all of that good kinds of stuff. And I also went up and I got this piece of basically radiator hose to fit down onto the water pump. It's not the original size. Here's the that's the original piece in there, and you can see that this one here is quite a bit bigger, but I can cut this down and use it in there, and then I can basically use the rest of it for whenever I go to pull the engine out of my old wagon out there. So yeah, I've got all of the bell housing bolts put in. Can't really see it too well from here, Also, I need I need to get basically everything else buttoned up top because I don't have the flywheel bolts put in it yet. Um, just for the plain and simple fact that I can't turn this motor. Um, these diesels here, they run on pretty high compression, and I just can't get it to turn. So I'm basically going to have to hook everything up and crank it to get it to turn. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at now, and I'll keep on getting after it. All right, now that I've basically gotten in here and gotten everything put together except for the air filter assembly over here. Um, I'm just gonna wait to put that on. And oh yeah, I guess I do still need to put the upper radiator hose on. But yeah, I've got the exhaust bolted up down there, the torque converter all bolted up, bell housing, all of the belts put on, and yeah, it's pretty much ready to go, except I need to pull the oil filter out of it and put in my new one. I've already got the new primary filter and the pre-filter installed for the fuel, and basically everything is all done up and pretty much ready to go. So basically all I've got left to do now is kind of let it back down off of the jacks and put the oil in it and the filters, and I'll be ready to start this thing up. So I'll go ahead and get the oil put in it and all of that. So yeah, I'll get after that and we'll continue on. All right, well, I've got the oil put in it, antifreeze, and all of that good kinds of stuff, and got it set back down on the ground. So let's see if it'll start up. All right, well, I've already taken it out and, done a run with it. And so far, so good. It's not leaking anything. I did have, just right after I first started it and got it outside, this fuel line, well, the main fuel line that comes down in here on the side of the injection pump. You can kind of see it right there at the tip of my finger, that basically that bolt that goes into the side of that fuel line. I evidently forgot to tighten it up, and it backed off and started leaking fuel. So I had to get in there and tighten that up. But for the most part, everything seems to be doing good. This is actually the next morning after I got everything put together, and it's got a little bit of a oil leak right there around that breather, which I'm sure, I could probably get in there and put a new clamp around that fitting and probably solve all of that. But for the most part, the car runs really good. I need to get in there and readjust the Bowden cable on it, and probably mess around with the vacuum module down on the transmission, just because I got in there and I fixed some of the vacuum lines that were messed up on it. Yeah, and that just kind of changed my shift points and the harshness of the shifts. But all in all, the car runs really good now. I think after adjusting the valves and after getting that intake gasket replaced in there, that really helped the car out. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it off right there, and I'm not sure what my next video on the car is going to be. I do have another grill for it that I pulled off of a parts car, and I don't know if I'm necessarily going to make a video about that. I might, but I'd just like to thank everyone, for watching my videos. And yeah, give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and please consider subscribing. I'm on my way to 100 subscribers now, and yeah, if I can make it to 1,000, that would greatly help me out with getting monetized on my channel here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.